I'm going to teach you step by step how to create a webinar funnel and send that webinar registration data to a program like Gotowebinar right inside MobileMonkey using a Zapier connection that we're going to build together. Let's go dive back into MobileMonkey and I'll show you how we have this set up. So it's going to be similar to what we did with sending data to Google Sheets. I created a webinar registration form page, which just says, do you want to learn 5 secrets for optimizing your Google Ads campaign on a shoestring budget? It's a webinar that we've run before. Sign up for a free 30-minute webinar this coming Thursday at 5 p.m. Just answer a couple quick questions, and I have a new form, and I titled it the Gotowebinar registration form, and I ask for email and phone number. Now, you might ask, it's sort of rare to ask for a phone number for signing up for a webinar. In some B2B cases, you will, but you're going to ask whatever questions that you want to ask to get people to sign up for a webinar. So we have our webinar bot funnel set up. Now we're going to go over to our connections and we're going to add a new connection. A webhook again, and we're going to title it Gotowebinar 5 PPC tips, because I want to make sure it's the right webinar. Webinar connection. We could add a description if we want to. There's no need to do that right now. And I'm going to leave the connection type continuously send contact data from an audience. Just for the sake of simplicity and for this example, I'm going to use all contacts as the audience. But in the real world, you would only want to send the people who filled out this form through Zapier into GoToWebinar. Now we need to configure our URL. So of course, you know we need to go back to Zapier. We're going to click Make a New Zap in our Zapier account. And we're going to follow the same original process. We're going to name our app. So just quickly go to Webinar from MobileMonkey. Okay. And we're going to search again for webhook. And we're going to click webhooks by Zapier. And we're going to again select catch hook because we're sending data from MobileMonkey into this webhook. Save and continue. Skip the next step. Continue. And we have our URL that we can copy to our clipboard. So I'm going to copy that URL to our clipboard, go back into MobileMonkey, paste the URL there. We're going to post the data because we're sending data from MobileMonkey into that webhook. And we're going to add the attributes that we want to send. So let's say we want to send, again, first name, and the value is going to be first name, last name, and the value is going to be last name. Email address, because we need an email address for people who sign up for a webinar. And let's say we're going to send phone number as well. And I could search for that custom attribute that I just created. And I could test the connection to make sure that the URL that Zapier provided me is working as it should be. So I'm going to test connection, sample, test. Just write just some tests here and a test number and send the test. And the response was a success, so we know that the URL that Zapier provided me is working as it should be. I could X out of here. And now I could X out of that dialog and I'm going to toggle this. I could X out of that dialog. I could X out of that dialog and I'm going to toggle this connection from draft to active. Wait for it to save up here. Now that it's saved, fantastic. And I can go click again on connections and I can see that this GoToWebinar connection is active. Now we can go back to Zapier and continue working on building out the Zap. So I'm going to click OK. I did this because I configured the URL. Now it's looking to retrieve some information from MobileMonkey. So I'm going to go to MobileMonkey, I'm going to go to my pages, and I'm going to go to my webinar registration form page, and I'm going to test this page in Messenger by opening up the test. Select Get Started. Because I deleted myself as a contact, I have to click Get Started again, opting in, and I got the welcome message, but I'm going to go back here again and delete myself as a contact if I'm in here. Okay, I'm not in there. I'm going to go back to connections, and I'm going to go back to pages, and I'm going to test this page in Messenger. Do you want to learn 5 secrets for optimizing your Google Ads campaigns on a shoestring budget? Isaac, please tap your email address below. Click it. Should ask me for my phone number. What's your phone number? It is 516-276-3254. Not my real number, but Great, you're all set, Isaac. We'll send you a reminder an hour before the webinar begins, okay? Now let's go back to our Zap to see if the Zap processed this information. Great, the test was successful. So all the hard parts are in place. The bot flow, 1, the bot flow is working. 2, the URL that Zapier provided us is working. And 3, once we turned the MobileMonkey connection to active, we know that MobileMonkey is successfully sending that data into Zapier. Now all we need to do is tell Zapier to take the information that it received from MobileMonkey automatically and send that to Gotowebinar. So we're going to continue. So we're going to click continue and we're going to search for Gotowebinar. It's a premium integration, so that means you need to have a premium subscription to Zapier. It's a few bucks a month in order to use it. And the action we want to happen in this Zap is to create a registrant in Gotowebinar. That's the whole purpose of this bot funnel. We're taking the webinar sign-up experience and we're putting it all in Messenger and we're doing everything else behind the scenes. So we want to be able to create a registrant. So I'm going to select that and click Save and Continue. I'm going to connect my Gotowebinar to Zapier by clicking Connect. I'm going to select Allow. And boom, we're all good to go. So I have my Gotowebinar account connected, and I'm going to click Save and Continue. And I'm going to search for an upcoming webinar. So back in Gotowebinar, I made a sample webinar, and I scheduled it, and I'm going to use that as the webinar I want to add registrants to from this MobileMonkey funnel. So I'm going to search, and I'm going to select this sample webinar. First name is going to be first name. Last name is going to be last name from the webhook. So I'm going to select email is email. Beautiful. And I'm going to go and click continue. One thing I want to note is that it looks like Gotowebinar does not allow you to send a phone number into Gotowebinar from MobileMonkey because they don't give you that option. I usually do this with Zoom and some other softwares that do allow you to send phone numbers in, but that's okay. So we don't need to send phone number, but the point is that we send first name, last name, email, and other attributes that might be important. And we're going to go ahead and click continue. So I have a sample, first name, Isaac Rudansky, and my email address, and we're going to send this test to Gotowebinar. And then we're going to look at Gotowebinar to see if the registrant was actually successfully entered. So Zapier is showing me that a test registrant was sent to Gotowebinar just now. Let's go actually see in Gotowebinar if that's the case. I'm going to scroll down. So I'm going to scroll down to my registrants and view if there are any registrants. And sure enough, here I am, Isaac Rudansky, just sent by Zapier. I just want to pause for a moment to express how powerful this is. You're taking an experience that typically was done over email, over traditional forms, you're pulling it into the most social, mobile optimized, most heavily trafficked chat platform in the entire world by far. And you're building things in a way that allow you to automate these processes completely behind the scenes without writing an ounce of code. You could be signing up hundreds of webinar registrations through Facebook Messenger, sending that webhook through Zapier into Gotowebinar, and then automatically have a drip campaign to remind people right before the webinar starts, 30 minutes, an hour, 5 minutes before the webinar. Your attendance rates are going to go from 15%, which is your typical attendance rate, it's going to double or even triple. Larry Kim was just telling me how he's seen 30, 35, 40+% attendance rates by doing it in Messenger versus their typical 10 to 15% attendance rate by doing this over email. So it's what we just did step by step is enormously powerful, and it's like super, super exciting. But before we get ahead of ourselves, we must go and save the Zap. So let's go back to Zapier, click Finish, and don't forget to turn the Zap on by toggling it on, and then we could return to our dashboard, make another Zap, or see the Zap on our dashboard. I'm just gonna go back into MobileMonkey to double check that this connection is on, and they are both active. Fantastic. So this is really exciting stuff. So that is step-by-step how to create a webinar registration funnel and process right in MobileMonkey, send all that information through a connection from MobileMonkey into Zapier, from Zapier into Gotowebinar. Very, very exciting. And I am looking forward to seeing all the different and interesting ways you guys use connections in MobileMonkey.